Let's speak about Momentus, baby. What is happening, investors? It is your boy Jack. I am not a financial advisor. I got the clothing line to prove that fact. And we're speaking about one of what I believe to be the most exciting space companies that is out there right now, okay? So I've made 2 videos on these guys so far, and I do own a position in the company. But recently, I found out about this, okay? The CEO of a $1.2 billion space company can't use its technology. So obviously, quite a concerning headline to read. When it comes to space and being a successful space company, you would imagine that technology is literally the most important thing. A shout out to the Discord member Srac for sharing this in our Momentus chat. That's where I initially found out about this. And since I have made 2 videos on this company in the past and not many people on YouTube cover them, I thought I'd better bring this information to light for you guys as well and let you guys know where I now stand on the company. So we're obviously going to go through this article right here. There is one piece of good news I want to go through towards the end of the video, and there's just a little bit from an SEC filing recently that I want to speak about as well. So right off the bat, everything I said in my previous videos still stands. I absolutely love this company and the prospects that they have, but this definitely does throw a spanner in the works. So right before we get into the video and we get into this article, can I please ask you to hit that juicy like button, my friends? It's another one of those ones where I have to do some of the boring reading work and go through the SEC filing, so that early like would be very appreciated. If you're new around here, please do consider hitting that juicy red subscribe button and joining the family of over 50,000 investors. A round of applause for all you guys. Thanks for making this happen. And drop me a comment down below. I want to know, where do you stand on Momentus right now? I mean, are you involved yet, or are you waiting until the merger happens? Just let me know down below. But anyway, let's get started. Really quick recap just on the price action. Nothing has really happened. Since we found out about this, very little has happened at all. There has not been much excitement or buzz surrounding these guys as of yet. So Momentus was founded in 2017 to develop a last mile transportation system for satellites launched into orbit using a novel water-based propulsion system. And I've stressed the fact that I think this is so important in my last 2 videos on this company. And the company is expected to go public on the Nasdaq in early 2021, more than likely the first quarter of 2021. I would expect it to be the first 2 months after a special purpose acquisition company, or Spac, SRAC, is bringing them public. But guys, we have a current valuation of $1.2 billion, okay? And this is big news. The Russian founder of the business, okay, is not allowed to work with his own company's products because of US rules intended to keep advanced space technology away from geopolitical rivals. So, he's from Russia. There is this conflict of interest essentially, which in my opinion there really isn't. So look, this is quite long and we are going to go through the majority of it because I do think it's very interesting. But to give you guys a really good understanding of what's happening, if we go into their most recent Form S4, okay, and we're going to go down to the risk section of this. This right here in blue is what we're looking at, okay? So, Momentus' co-founder and chief executive officer, CEO, is an asylum seeker from the Russian Federation, and if his petition is not successful, it could adversely impact us. So Mikhail Kokorich, I'm sorry, I don't know how to pronounce that name, I'm just going to call you Mick for the rest of the video, will be the CEO of the combined company, is a citizen of the Russian Federation who is currently seeking asylum in the United States. He is authorized to work in the United States while his asylum application is pending. So Momentus does believe that his application will be granted. If for any reason it's not, he may not be able to remain in the United States, which could make it difficult for very obvious reasons for him to perform his duties as CEO and as a director of the company. If he is granted asylum, he intends to apply for US citizenships, which will, fix everything that we're going to speak about in today's video. However, while he remains a foreign national, the company may be affected by political decisions, and as discussed above, the company will be subject to regulations relating to foreign investments in US companies. So this could make a lot of things awkward in the short term for this company. Now, in case you haven't seen my previous 2 videos, I have always looked at these guys as a very long term hold. I mean, I'm speaking decades down the line here, and I do think the short term future is uncertain. I definitely do think we could dip below $10. I don't think we're going to see the biggest moves in the world for a considerable period of time. But after finding out this piece of news in particular, I think volatility could shoot up over the next few months. The reason I don't think we're seeing big moves right now is because not a lot of people are involved in the first place. I don't think we're going to see very big moves up or down regardless. If there was higher volumes, I think we'd be seeing a big dip right now, but we're not. So that's the basics of what is happening. The CEO is an asylum seeker from Russia. So furthermore, investors worry that the transaction may face unusual scrutiny because Momentus CEO Mick, though credited with a majority of the company's inventions is legally barred from accessing the firm's technology by US national security law. That's crazy. Now, he did not respond to questions relayed to him by a spokesperson a week before the story was published, and a spokesperson for SRAC, the Spac, said it would not answer questions about the transaction. So there is a lot, and I mean a lot, of unanswered questions right now, and I'm of the opinion we probably won't have answers for a few months. So again, there is an extra element now of uncertainty to this company. I want to make it clear from the start, I don't plan on selling any of my position as of right now, and I still do stand by what I've said in the past, but this is something we need to be aware of. And if you don't really understand what this means, okay, while executive leadership doesn't always require technical chops, it's hard to imagine SpaceX succeeding if it were against law for Elon Musk to look at the rocket designs. That's essentially what's being said here. So even though Mick has played such an important role in regards to all of the technology, he's not legally allowed to look at these things. So when you think about all of this technology, okay, the US government regulates this technology in every aspect of this space tech to make sure foreign governments don't have access to it. It makes sense. There's a very obvious conflict of interest there. This is just a really weird scenario to be in. And then furthermore, if we look into this, in 2019, Mick was the subject of a federal investigation to determine if he violated export control laws as an investor and executive in several satellite companies. Essentially though, he has never been charged with a crime. So people who aren't American citizens or permanent residents come under these rules because their access to the technology is considered a form of exportation. Foreign individuals can work at firms involved with dual purpose technology, and foreigners can invest in them too if the Committee for Foreign Investments in the US approves of it. This approval is often contingent on a formal mitigation plan that keeps specific executives and investors firewalled from technical data. So this definitely has thrown a spanner in the works. So essentially now Mick's future with Momentus may depend on obtaining permission to work with its space vehicles. And you can understand why it's so important. Just go back to that Elon Musk SpaceX example. Momentus could face significant repercussions if it cannot obtain an export license that would enable Mick to access technology covered by US export control laws, or if his immigration status cannot be changed to qualify him as a US person under those laws. Now this may well end up being absolutely nothing. He may just be able to become a US citizen. Another option is for him to obtain an export license that would give him the ability to work with controlled technology. In 2019, Momentus hired the lobbying firm K&L Gates to lobby on the issue of spacecraft export licensing. So this is something they've been aware of. The lobbying contract was terminated in July 2020. But the recent SEC filing says Momentus is still seeking the license. So how concerned am I about this as of right now? To be honest, not too concerned yet, but I will definitely always be keeping this in mind when I am contemplating buying more of this particular company. This is a risk that needs to be kept in mind. This man needs to be on the team. He needs access to that technology for this company to be successful as we want it to be, straightforward. What this has said to me is I probably will slow down in regards to buying these guys for a considerable period of time until I at least have an update on this matter, or until some real big news actually comes out around the company, because I already think this is going to be a slow burner for a while. I don't think it's gathering the same excitement as a lot of these other EV SPACs, or even, you know, Virgin Galactic when they went public through a SPAC. We don't have that same level of excitement for Momentus as of right now. So this is just another thing that could potentially lead to it being a little bit slower, or potentially even downtrending for a little bit longer. So it just means that I will play it accordingly. I will go a little bit slower. Now here's actually a good piece of news that came out November 2nd. Stable Road Acquisition Corp and Momentus Inc. announced 3 independent directors to join Post Combination Company, okay? The board is to include Chris Hadfield, a veteran astronaut and former commander of the International Space Station. Very exciting man to have on the team. And the other 2 new board members will be David Siminoff and Vince Dino. Mick said here, Chris is among the most knowledgeable and well-known figures in space exploration, a decorated astronaut with a career that spans NASA, the Canadian Space Agency, and the International Space Station. So obviously a man full of experience, a great man to have on the team. We know he will make an excellent addition to our board, and we look forward to benefiting from his counsel and support. I'm very happy about this one. His enormous technical and practical experience in space robotics, orbital stations, and human operations in space will be great assets as we position Momentus to offer transfer and service vehicles as well as in-orbit logistic nodes and propellant deposits. We are also extremely pleased with the opportunity to welcome David Siminoff and Vince Dino to our board of directors. David has a distinguished career as an entrepreneur, investor, and board member with numerous high-profile tech companies, and we look forward to having his vast experience again. Vince is a tech entrepreneur and venture capitalist. Awesome. What they need right now. And his extensive experience in the aerospace and defense industry, including more than a decade at Millennium Space Systems, where he held various postings including President, Chief Operating Officer, and Chief Innovation Officer. We view his experience with small satellites or small sat development as highly relevant to Momentus. awesome. So I know people are going to be asking me if I think it's a buy right now. I have 200 shares at an average share price of 10.44 and I don't plan on selling, so I suppose that does speak for itself. This is a company I could see myself investing a whole lot more into, but I genuinely don't see myself buying them anytime soon until some more light gets shed on what's going on right now with the CEO, or until some real major news comes out. So the answer is yes, realistically, but I do think there's a few things that need to be answered first before I'll be confident buying more. I'll put it that way. I don't have any price targets or anything like that. I mean, we're at 10.24. There's been barely any price action since we found out about them. There's not exactly any support or resistance or gaps or anything of the sorts. I'm happy at current prices. I will put it that way. But guys, I'm going to keep up to date with this. You know, as I said, I don't expect an answer for a considerable period of time, but I'll just keep you guys up to date with Momentus every week or two, because I am very interested in them. But guys, hopefully you did enjoy. I know it's a little bit boring reading through these SEC filings sometimes, but yeah, it's necessary for us to know. If you did watch this video all the way until the end, you, my friend, are a true legend, and I really do appreciate you being here from the bottom of my heart. The support means the absolute world to me, guys. I still think Momentus is an awesome, exciting looking company though. If you enjoyed today's video, maybe took some value and entertainment, please consider hitting that juicy like button, drop me a comment down below, and of course, subscribe if you're new around here. And also, please feel free to hit that first link in the description if you want to sign up to become a Patreon. You'll get full access to my private Discord group. You get my buy and sell alerts. You'll find out about pieces of news like this before I make videos on them. It is full of juicy information. But anyway, my friends, I hope you all have an absolutely fantastic day. I will see you for another video very soon. Peace.